all of a sudden things will just start to happen. Like things will just start to gel.
And that's exactly
when you're just like, oh, I guess I'm out of the death space now.
So
right? Yeah,
yes.
right? And you're just like, and it happens like really fast when you come out of the death space. But you have to, but if you resist the death space, man, you're going to be in that puppy for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you do what I did, okay, learn from me, don't do that. You're going to get pushed back into it because you're going to go through it. If your higher self is like, you need to learn to surrender more, like you're going to go through it, you're going through it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you're talking to. So my suggestion is to not fight that because you probably will not win from your little ego-minded self. And you're kind of not getting the most out of it, right? Which is a deeper sense of surrender, of enjoyment of this stillness. And then when you come out of it, you feel, like you said, this richness and this buoyancy because you've been in that deep, deep, deep stillness. Right? It's like more, it's like you've learned that whole cycle, right? That you've like, it's like almost the space where you have had all that experience, have internalized it. It's like left you whatever you need to take from it has, but it like integrates all that somehow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you come out of it and you're like, everything just starts to line up and happen. You're like, ding, 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 ding. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, this is bizarre because that's exactly correct.
Yeah.
It's funny the timing that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Very neat. Very neat.
So the death space is really cool. And like I said, the reason we're talking about it is just so that people who are in it aren't fighting it.
Yeah.
And you know what it is. And that it is different from detox. Very, very different. Most people who are just beginning will not go into the death space. Okay. So just for you guys to know. So if you're just starting and you're kind of like, oh my God, that doesn't sound great to me. You have to actually get to a certain level of frequency resonance to have it. Not because we're special, but because in order to learn surrender, you have to have cleared enough of your distortion. You know what I mean? Because if at the beginning, you're just like trying to get rid of the distortion patterns.
There's no room
There's
for
no room.
that yet.
Yeah, exactly. So then when you've finally gotten rid of enough of them and you're stable enough internally, then you can surrender, right? And you're like, oh, okay. So now, and that's when the death space sort of magically appears, of course, in perfect timing.
So crazy.
Yeah. So that's the space, what I call the space in between. It's a space between, even if it's like on the infinite scale, it seems tiny, you know, in these little bumps in consciousness or little bumps in frequency resonance. The death space is in between. It's like all these little layers between the movement of this upward buoyancy, you know? And it is, like I said, a part of the void, which is a very feminine space, which is that of like ultimate dissolution and ultimate, and then also like possibility. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the death space.
Beautiful. It's resting, releasing, relaxing, and enriching at the same time.
Totally. And during this period, what I would recommend is to know that it's happening. It's less scary if you know that's what's happening. To take care of yourself. I know we've talked about self-care a lot, but
especially
this.
Yeah.
To not lose presence in your body. So just like take care of your body, right? Your body's trying to like process a lot here and just be. So just allow facilitating that. And then it's funny because I find that in the death space, things become clearer. You know, it's like, because you don't have all that emotional stuff and mental stuff, you know what I mean? It's like it's more quiet.
Right.
Because you don't have that as intensively. So you can, it gives you this odd clarity. That neutrality gives you a weirdly odd clarity. So you can sort of see things like, oh, actually, this isn't serving me, or this is, or it would be better to go here, or whatever. And you're not forcing it, you're just noticing it. And so that can be a really beautiful gift from the death space as well.
Very cool.